All right, hello everyone. My name is Cody, and today we are going to be taking it back to basics. We are going back to our tried and true. We're going to be playing some Lurrus Burn in Pioneer. Hello, Lantern. Welcome. Welcome. We are going to be going back playing some Lurrus Burn. We took a bit of a detour over the last couple streams, playing some stuff in Modern, playing some other decks in Pioneer, but this is the one we've had the most success with, and so we are coming back to some Burn in Pioneer. Very quickly going over the deck. The main deck, the main 60, is exactly the same that we've been doing the past times that we've streamed the deck. Just trying to get out to a really aggressive start with things like Monastery Swiftspear, Soulscar Mage, and get to Lava Runner. Some utility-based creatures in the form of Vishino Pyromancer and Eidolon of the Great Revel. And we're going to back all that up with some of the most powerful burn spells that Pioneer has. Things like Lightning Strike, Wild Slash, Boros Charm, as well as Skewer the Critics and Wizard's Lightning. And then we also have Light Up the Stage to get us some card advantage if we start running low on gas. I have seen a lot of these decks opt out of Skewer the Critics, going up to play sets of like Lightning Strike, the Pyromancer, and then some adding in Ash Zealot to the main deck. I'm still a big fan of Skewer the Critics. I like cards that can help us close out the game, right? It's not uncommon for us to get towards the end of the game, our opponent's sitting at 3 to 6 life, and we're just hoping to get some really good top decks to close out the game. So I really like Skewer the Critics for that sense, the fact that we can close out the game with it, and it's can be just a 1-mana lightning bolt, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm still very much a believer in Skewer the Critics. So same 60 card deck that we've been running for the past little bit. We have changed up the sideboard significantly though. Still have Lurrus as our companion. Like, tried playing decks without Lurrus, and you can really tell like Lurrus brings a whole lot to the deck. So still on the Lurrus companion plan. Still have a play set of Chain to the Rocks to interact with our opponent. Still have 3 Searing Bloods, just an overall awesome removal spell for the mirror match or for any other creature-based strategy. Searing Blood's going to put in a lot of work there. Now we're going to get into some of the changes that we made. We've taken out the Wear Tears, and we've replaced them with Erase. So Erase is 1 white mana, exile, target enchantment. That's going to be really great for the Heliod matchup, just being able to can answer Heliod. And it's also in a Lurrus metagame. Exiling the enchantment is going to be a lot better than destroying it. I have had when I'm playing this deck, I Chain to the Rock something, and they're able to remove my Chain to the Rocks, and I just get it right back with Lurrus. So Erase is going to be a great way to play around that, to get around Indestructible, and then to get around any Lurrus recursion with those enchantments. Also, we're going up. We're switching from Grafdigger's Cage over to Rest in Peace. Yes, Grafdigger's Cage only costs 1, so it's a lot easier to deploy early, a lot easier to get back with Lurrus. Not as much of a mana commitment, and the fact that Rest in Peace requires white mana, but I really value the exile effect of Rest in Peace. Too often, like Grafdigger's Cage comes down a little too late, or they've already gotten like that type of value out of their graveyard where they'll destroy my Grafdigger's Cage, and then they have access to their whole graveyard again. So like against the Abzan Rally, the Ancestors deck, I play Grafdigger's Cage, they fill up their graveyard, and then they Abrupt Decay my Grafdigger's Cage and then win on the same turn. So what I like about Rest in Peace is that it just like hard resets the graveyard. If they have some stuff in there, it's all gone, and while Rest in Peace is in play, they can't fill up their graveyard. Same thing with like Uro, right? Like I can have my Grafdigger's Cage in play, and they can just fill up their graveyard, cast Uro goes to the yard, they answer the Grafdigger's Cage, and then they get back their Uro, which if they can escape Uro, we've lost the game. So Rest in Peace seems like a great way to just really shut down the graveyard, even if it comes at a bit of a higher mana cost. And then finally, we've added 2 Skullcrack to the sideboard. Lots of life gain starting to pop up in the format just because this deck is so prevalent. So we want something to answer that, right? We want to turn off big turns of like play Uro, escape Uro, just know you don't get to gain 6 life this turn. Being able to answer those types of things is something that's very, very important. And again, Skullcrack still plays along with our game plan. In matchups where Skullcrack is good, things like Lightning Strike probably aren't going to be good. So it's a real easy switch out, still doing 3 damage for 2 mana, although now we get that extra benefit of preventing life gain. So that is the deck. And then we are just going to jump into a league. All right. Getting into it. I'm excited. Back on some burn. So we've already gotten 2 trophies with this deck. So let's see if we can maybe get a third today, or at the very least go better than 1-4. We've been going 1-4 quite a bit recently. So it'd be nice to kind of get back on our winning streak. Which, speaking of, I have finally purchased the rest of this deck in paper. I was waiting. I wasn't sure if Lurrus was going to get banned right away, but after the banned and restricted announcement this Monday, I went ahead and picked up a foil Lurrus. Surprisingly, the foil companions aren't too much more than the regular companions. Lurrus is like $7, and the foil was like 9 or 10. So not too much of like that huge upgrade. And like I bought a Gigantha too, because who knows how long like Lurrus and Yorion will stay in the matchup, and if Gigantha's gonna get good, and like a foil Gigantha was literally $2. So I finally caved and bought the rest of this particular deck out. So really excited for that. Although who knows when I'll get to play it again, but when it does, I'm gonna be ready. All right, we are jumping into our first game. Oh, all right, we have lost the die roll, as is tradition. All right, gonna reveal our Lurrus. All right, this hand, aside from no white source, pretty good. Although they did not reveal a companion, and that tells me that we are either up against some kind of combo deck. We're either up against Breach, which is probably the most likely, or there are still non-companion builds of Dimir Inverter running around. So I think we're going to keep this hand on the basis that we have an Eidolon in our hand. If this is a combo deck, playing Eidolon is going to really sway the game in our favor. So we're going to keep it. We're going to find out very quickly what they're on. In the past, we have also played against just like Simic Ramp, and if this is Simic Ramp, this is not the best hand because they're very quickly going to get to playing things above CMC3, but a breeding pool. Yeah, this very well just could be Simic Ramp. Although the good news is we still get to curve out pretty well. We get to go turn 1 Lava Runner, turn 2 Eidolon, or double Wild Slash attack for 2. We would like to draw some white sources here before too long, just to get this Boros Charm out of our hand and then to hopefully start setting up to play Lurrus. Oh, that's nice. 1 land hand, or it looks more like they F6 through their turn on accident. But, I mean, we'll take it. We could deploy Eidolon, but I think we're going to get aggressive. Especially if we're going to assume that was on purpose and they did stumble and they only have 1 land in hand. Us getting to go Swiftspear Wild Slash is going to be pretty good at putting a clock on them. Let's pull this over here a little bit. Let's see. They mulled to 6 because they were on the play. So I could see, yeah, keeping a 1-lander on 6 especially if they have like a bunch of growth spirals and stuff in hand. Like, oh yeah, we just got to top deck 1 more land and we're in it, you know. Let's see. An unclaimed territory. Okay, so this is not either of those decks. What is this? Dragon. Ooh, that's exciting. Sylvan Caryatid. Okay. Huh. This is something, all right. So again, this could, I don't know, like Sylvan Caryatid either like makes me think combo deck, right? Like this is what Gyruda plays, although this clearly isn't a Gyruda deck, but like Sylvan Caryatid, most known like for being a hexproof mana source in like those types of combo decks in Gyruda, in the Jeskai Ascendancy lists. So really interesting there. So we're gonna deploy this Soulscar Mage. Like, we just need to put bodies on the field because this thing can stonewall block anything else we do. So we are just going to let's go ahead and go to attack. Might as well see if we can. It doesn't matter which one they block. We're getting in for 2 damage, but let's just see. We could get lucky and they don't block, although that doesn't seem likely. All right, they're not going to block. So we get to get in some extra damage here. I guess like they can always be like worried that we are going to play some sort of pump spell because we haven't played white yet, so they might not. Well, but we have our Lurrus, so I don't know. They might have just worried that we were able to pump our guy up to make them lose their Caryatid, and if that is the case, then they're going to be in big trouble. Yeah, so this is some kind of dragon deck, which is really interesting. That Haven and Spirit Dragon dead, like that plus the Unclaimed Territory dead giveaway, but we might be seeing something really scary here. Okay, just a Questing Beast. I say just. Questing Beast is a good one. But, like, they're way behind. Like, we're not going to block it. We can't. It's like we're going to be able to hit him for at least 2 if we can get a white source or a burn spell. We're going to be hitting him for a lot. So, I'll light up the stage. All right, we're gonna go to attack. We're gonna swing in. We have their life total low enough that even though they're just gonna get to freely eat a creature, like it's fine. We're gonna turn on Spectacle, and we're gonna be hitting them down to that great number of burn spells being enough to kill them. All right, they're opting to kill the Soulscar Mage because that's gonna shrink their Questing Beast, which we're fine with. Hit him to 6. Let's cast this light up the stage. Oh, we gotta cast it with Spectacle. We need to hopefully flip a land and some burn spells. All right. I kind of want to let's play the Soulscar Mage, get it on the board. We can attack with it next turn. But if we light up the stage into like a land plus burn spell, that's gonna be pretty good. Especially because we have no way of turning on Spectacle right now. So I'm going to opt to do that. I'm going to opt to cast the second light up the stage. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. That's what we want to see. So let's go Inspiring Vantage plus Soulscar Mage. Unless they can gain some life, this game is going to be getting wrapped up pretty soon. Because we can Boros Charm plus Wizard's Lightning them. Even if they put a bunch of blockers in the way, we can just win with direct damage. So great way to start this first game out. Unless, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this dragon deck. Maybe there's some big, gain a bunch of life dragon that's going to make our life very, very difficult. We're just going to have to see. So yeah, the fact that they weren't some all-in combo deck makes these Eidolons pretty bad, and that's probably what we're going to take out when we start sideboarding. Just, you see how quickly they played 1-2 drop, and then now they're casting things 4 greater. They're about to play something that's 5-6 mana, so probably better for us to play a little bit more aggressively. Let's see what they bring in, or what they're about to play. Maybe a Dragon Lord. Something's 5 mana. That's scary. Oh, Wooburg. Is this gonna be a Niv Mizzet? Yeah. Oh, okay. We're up. Huh. That's interesting. How I give this jank the benefit of the doubt. Hey, I have lost to in real events to some jank decks that I take everything super seriously, because they're just gonna get you. What'd they draw? They drew a Dragon Lord Atarka, Dragon Lord Ojutai, and that's it. Okay. I was playing the Star City Games Modern event. They had that Modern regional back in geez, it's been so long. I don't even know. February, March-ish. And like I lost to some decks that I was not like aware even existed. They just like came out of nowhere and got me. So I always make sure that I'm going to take it as seriously as I can. All right. But yeah, we're wrapping up this game. We're going to hit him for 3 and we can just attack in for the rest of lethal. I think we're just going to go ahead and attack in, just for the sake of, like, not revealing that we have this Boros charm. I don't know how much it's going to matter, like, the information of it, but since there's literally no cost to it, we'll just go ahead and attack. All right, going over to the sideboard. These Eidolons are pretty bad because they're going to be ramping out so quick. Like, I saw from their Niv Mizzet, they're going to be playing, although that they're playing things like Elvish Mystic, the Sylvan Caryatid, things like that. So Eidolon might be fine, but especially on the draw, that's not what I'm wanting. Things that I am wanting. I'm debating Searing Blood because the fact that they are running all of those elves, we saw them flip a bunch of elves. Being able to, on turn 2, Searing Blood their elf is going to be really nice. But Chain to the Rocks is going to be the big one. We're going to snatch up their Dragon Lords. We're going to snatch up their... oh, no. Not the Erase. We're going to snatch up their Dragon Lord, snatch up their Niv Mizzet, because that's how they're going to win the game. They're just going to play some big things that we can't answer and then attack in for lethal. So we're going to bring in these 4 Chain to the Rocks. We could maybe switch out like a Lightning Strike or 2 for a Skullcrack. I think we'll do that as well because I'm not sure what their sideboard looks like, and they could just have a bunch of like Knight of Autumns and things like that. Do you change? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Chain to the Rocks too. Chain to the Rocks is an excellent one. It's our Path to Exile, but it's better than Path to Exile. Because unlike in Modern, like they can answer a Chain to the Rocks in Modern pretty easily, but in like Pioneer, like there's not a lot of answers. Or are they really going to bring in their like erases for Chain to the Rocks? Like if we're in the mirror match, like maybe, but just like Chain to the Rocks feels really good. If this match goes poorly, we might bring in Searing Blood, just because like maybe this game they're just going to ramp out super fast with a bunch of mana dorks. Although this hand looks great. 3 creatures. We're going to come out the gate so fast. We have Lurrus mana already. Wild Slash to beef up our Swift Spears. So I think it's going to be turn 1 Swift Spear, turn 2 Swift Spear Lava Runner, turn 3 Wild Slash, go to town. And of course, as always, our draw could change what we do. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Deploy our creatures and then get underneath them before they get to cast their big things. Waiting on them. Like normal. Really, that's one of the things I like about Burn. Like, there's not too many sketchy hands. Like, it's typically pretty like, yep, this is good, or no, this is not good. Very, very rarely do you have to kind of sit and think on your hand for a minute. A lot of Modern Bird decks are running Chain. Yeah, because it's like ramping your opponent. That's a real cost. There's a real cost to like giving your opponent a land, especially in Modern. Second Wild Slash is great. So that means that I think we're gonna Swift Spear. It's very valid to say, oh, just Wild Slash their dork, like really slow them down. But I don't know how many 3 drops they're running. It seems like from that first game, they're playing a lot of 4 and 5 drops. So maybe they're just going to try to deploy more dorks next turn. And if that happens, then we might just double Wild Slash 2 Elvish Mystics. In Modern, Chain to the Rocks is good if Jund is not good, right? Because those Assassin's Trophies and those Abrupt Decays, those are like what get you, right? Cards that they're going to be running anyway. But in like metas where those are not good, Chain to the Rocks is actually pretty nice because that typically means there's a lot more big mana decks. And you just want to get underneath those big mana decks. So like giving them extra lands is not what you want to be doing. All right. Okay, they do have a 2-drop. It's a Paradise Druid. They have a second land drop. So again, right, this tells me that they don't have any 3-drops in their hand. That they're just like they're trying to ramp into 4 and 5 drops. So what we can do is Soulscar Mage is awesome too. We're gonna play this Battlefield Forge. We're gonna cast this Swift Spear, and then we're gonna Wild Slash this. Or we're gonna attack. They're not gonna block. I know they're not because they want to keep their mana dorks alive. But we are going to attack in, and if we get lucky and they do block, then this Wild Slash is gonna be huge. Okay. We're gonna Wild Slash the Elvish Mystic. Burn versus Jund in Modern it's one of my favorite matchups because it's so close. Like every time I play it, it really like comes down to me top decking. Like it's always, oh no, I have them at 3 and they have like a Tarmogoyf in play and I'm at 5, and it frequently comes down to like me top decking the burn spell at the right time. In Modern, like Jund takes a lot of damage off of its mana base, which is always awesome for burn. But they have a lot of answers. Like, believe it or not, Liliana the Veil, pretty good, right? At like taking burn spells out of our hand. And then they play Tarmogoyf and it just kind of blanks all of our creatures. So like Jund is a very fun matchup for burn. I really like playing it. Another pair. So see, look, like I guarantee they have a 5-drop in hand. So we slowed them down. We slowed them down a lot. Like they had to take this whole turn just to play more hexproof creatures. And I can guarantee you what they're not going to do. And that's block with them. So like really good spot for us. Especially getting to curve out to that third on 3 mana. Skewer the critics. Excellent. Let's see. Can we just kill them? Because what we could do is Wild Slash them, Skewer the critics, play our Get to Lava Runner, and that's going to be what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's 13. So they like are going to have to block with their mana dorks if we do that. Yeah, the Jund sideboard is really good against Modern Burn. Like they typically have like their life gain effects. Like it's rough. It's always fun though. All right. So we're going to force them to block with their mana dorks, which is going to be good for us. And then we're going to like hit them to like 2. Like we are just hoping to close out the game. All right, let's see what they do. I mean, they have to block. That's 8. But let's see how much they block. They could just chump block like Land of War Elves in front of a Swift Spear, but we'll see if they like try to block with 2 or 3 of those dorks. Oh, they have 1 card in hand. Like that's got to be one really good card. Yeah, okay, so they're going all out and they're blocking. Which we're fine with. Like depending on what we draw, next turn might be a Lurrus turn. Just tap out, play Lurrus, go from there. But if we draw something to turn on some prowess triggers, we're obviously going to be doing that. I will say though, this, especially like this burn deck, it really beats up on decks like this. I was looking at like whenever some deck 5-0s or like a channel posts like a really neat deck, I like tried to run it and take, so we're just going to skewer the critics them and then win the game. Although they might have something, I don't know. I feel pretty confident just like paying 3 for the skewer the critics though. I mean, or it means that they're going to have to like deploy what limited resources they have just to stay alive. So again, right, if that... Oh, a Feed the Clan. Wow, to gain 4 life. Nice. You see, like that Feed the Clan, if they had like a Niv Mizzet in play, oh, that would have been the game. Like, game over, right? They gained 10 life. Yeah, no way we're coming back from that. So bringing in those Skull Cracks was a great idea. And they're tapping out for something. A questing beast. Beast is going to be good. It's going to put a bit of a beating on us. And that vigilance is going to be very relevant. We're just hoping to top deck a burn spell. Literally any one of our like 4 or 5 burn spells in the deck is going to be enough. Land, not so much. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We're going to play out our Lurrus. See, this is where like Lurrus is really going to like show its stuff, right? If we were playing regular burn, I think the game would kind of be like not lost, but we'd be a lot worse position than we are right now. We're just going to get back a Get To Lava Runner. And that's going to be... Oh, no, that's just the game, right? Because Get To Lava Runner attacks for 2. Or no, they're going to block the Lava Runner and go to 1. Never mind. But again, right, they're going to 1. So then literally anything does it. Even Wild Slash at this point will be enough. Yep. All right, we'll F6 the turn. Hit him to 1. See if they drew another Feed the Clan. Ferocious is... What is Ferocious 4 or greater? So if they drew a Feed the Clan, we'd be in trouble right now. But to go back, I had seen this really cool like Abzan humans list running like General Kudrow, Thalia's Lieutenant, like all those good humans cards. And like I got paired up against Lurrus Burn and they just ran me over. Like they just deployed all of their resources to like kill my guys, and then they just like Lurrus, get back my creatures and win the game. So like this deck definitely beats up on like a lot of the rogue decks that I think could do well otherwise. Yeah. Like this deck did not exist pre-Lurrus, right? Like before Lurrus jumped on the scene, like this was not a deck. Like all of the red decks were the very creature-based mid-range decks running Torbran, Goblin Rabble Master, like cards like that. So yeah, like Lurrus has allowed us to play a real deal like burn deck where we're trying to cast sorceries and play a couple creatures to end the game, which I like. I really like this style of deck. Let's load up a match while I'm chatting. I listen to the Pioneer podcast that Ross Merriam does, and they were talking about this deck, and they were especially talking about the matchup between Lurrus Burn and the Abzan Rally deck, and they were like treating this deck like it's modern Burn, and they're like, well, you know, if you're pointing your burn spells at their creatures, it means you're winning the game. And I don't think with Lurrus that's the case. Like you're able to play this kind of like aggro mid-range deck where like, yes, in a like best case scenario, you just run them over, but like we have the ability to play that mid-range matchup where we use our burn spells to control the board and then attack in with our creatures. So I definitely think that even though this deck is like currently tier 1, I think a lot of people are like, I think the reason that it is so tier 1 is people are misunderstanding like the play style of the deck and treating it just like it's this all-in aggro deck. All right. Ooh, we're up against Gyruda. Gyruda, how fun. Can this deck run over Gyruda is the question. With 1 land, although we do get to go turn 1 Soulscar Mage, and then we get to Wizard's Lightning if we need to, or we can just attack and light up the stage. It's going to be risky because they're going to win the game by like turn 5. Like, can this hand run them over in 4 turns? If we draw a second land, it absolutely can. And we're also on the draw, so yeah. I've noticed the best hand with this deck is to go Mana Dork on turn 2, 2 Mana Dorks on turn 3, win the game on turn 4. So good news. Although all of their things are hexproof anyway, so it's not like this Lightning Strike is going to matter. Because they're running, again, the Sylvan Caryatids, the Paradise Druid, stuff like that. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to interact with our Mana Dorks too well. If we can draw a second land, we're going to go probably Lava Runner plus Wizard's Lightning. Okay. That does put a bit of a not so great because we can't just attack in and light up the stage next turn. So we really need to draw a land so we can Wizard's Lightning plus light up the stage or Boros Charm or whatever. Okay. That's, I want to say it's good enough because we're going to play it in attack. But we definitely would have preferred a second land there. So We definitely don't want to stumble against this deck. They are very close to just like winning the game in within 2 turns. If we get lucky and they don't just double mana dork next turn, then maybe we can claw our way back into it. But if they just have this big setup turn, it's going to be hard. Because there's no way we're attacking through even like 4 or 5 Gyrudas. Wolf Willow Haven, that's a ramp spell. And here's the second one, right? So 2, 4, they have 6 mana. Gyruda costs 6. We're in trouble. Yeah, and okay. And we're not drawing a second land, so we're just going to... We're going to attack in. Now, see, this is one of the decks where Grafdigger's Cage is actually better than Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace doesn't interact with Gyruda the way that we want it to, while Grafdigger's Cage does. So that's unfortunate that our sideboard choices are going to hurt us in this matchup. Again, no lands. So we were not destined to win this game 1. Yep. We're going to F6 through the turn. We're not going to concede to this this Gyruda just because this combo can take a bit of a while time-wise, and maybe we can, like, engage. Oh, no. Ooh, did they just whiff? They did. Sylvan Caryatid is all that they flipped, but they're going to take our Eidolon, so. Wow, we might actually not be lost the game. Although if we can't draw a second land, the answer is yes, we have lost the game. We're just gonna wild slash our own Eidolon. And then we're gonna pass the turn. We have to draw a second land if we're gonna have any hope of winning this game. Which we do now. We have the hope. They whiffed, and if they don't have any clone effects in hand, like they just have more ramp spells or more lands, like. Although it looks like they're about to play a clone effect. Yep. Oh, and it's Spark Double, which is the good one. So, all right. Let's see if we can get them to whiff again. They don't. You may exile. Okay, it's a flicker effect. Cool. Really? Oh, because they have enough damage on board to just kill us right now. Yeah. They have another clone effect in their hand. Okay. All right. It was fun. Glad they got to humor us for one turn. So again, if we had a second land, we could have gone out from under them. And I think it's pretty useless, but math is for attackers, right? Okay. Go to sideboard. All right, what's going to be good here? Not a lot is the answer. I guess we can bring, like, nothing is good. Like, we bring in Chain to the Rocks, but then we risk drawing a bunch of them. And if they combo, if they don't whiff and they just get to, like, churn through their deck, it doesn't matter. Because we can't hit the mana dorks with this. Rest in Peace does nothing. Searing Blood does nothing. I guess Skullcrack is the best one. Like, I don't know what life gain they're going to be bringing in, but I guess Skullcrack's the best one. We take out, what, Lightning Strike? So let's see. We can definitely point this in the Rest in Peace versus Grafdigger's Cage debate. Can definitely put this one in. Things could have gone very differently if we had a Grafdigger's Cage. See, again, this hand is perfect if we can draw a second land. Like, we can go, like, Soulscar Mage, turn 2, Soulscar Mage, Swift Spear, turn 3, like, Swift Spear. Like, we can just, like, really hit him for a bunch, but we have to draw a second land. Like, this is the type of hand we want, and I don't know. Should we mulligan to 6? Should we mull to 6? That is the question. We could get a just as good 6 where, like, this maybe one, like, Lava Runner or a Soulscar Mage is a second land, or we could just draw garbage where it's 4 lands and a bunch of nothing. So that's a tough one. We auto lose if we don't draw a second land, though. Like, guaranteed to lose. But we're going to mulligan it. like I said, then we get some garbage like this, right? Like this hand is so bad. Like this does not win the game. It's like what? We get 6 damage on them because they cast 3 ramp spells. And then what? We lose the game after that? Well, God. Let's mull to 5. Great hand. We're going to put the Pyromancer on the bottom for sure. That doesn't do what we want. I think we're going to put the Lava Runner on the bottom too, because this Lava Runner isn't going to be attacking for 2 until much, much later. So this will be the 5 we keep. It's a good 5. We have a white source, so we can play anything we draw. Lurrus is not going to be playing any role in this matchup. We just need to race him, and we got to... Like, we need to hope we draw light up the stage next turn. Like, that would be the best thing for us to do. So we could, like, go Wild Slash plus light up the stage. Or we need to hope that they kept a really slow hand. One that's, like, they're not just going to play 3 mana dorks and win the game on turn 4. Unfortunately, Monastery Swiftspear is not a wizard. It's a human monk, so what we can do is play this tapped, Wild Slash him, and attack for 2. Not the best, but it's something. If we draw garbage again, I think then we might actually like have to play Lurrus just because it's like a body that we can attack with. Zephyr and Void. All right, they're scrying. And here comes Sylvan Caryatid, which is a great blocker. Yes, okay. So we drew another thing of trash, so we're just going to play out Lurrus. And then pass the turn. Let's hope they don't just double mana. Oh, yeah, Radiant Fountain, sure. Let's hope they don't double dork this turn. Legion's End. Wow. Well, I was not expecting that one. Plus a Paradise Druid. Wow, and Paradise Druid can just kill our Lurrus. So that's okay, but good news, we drew a Wild Slash, so we can although no, like we just like can't attack with this Lurrus anymore because they can just trade with Paradise Druid for it, and that's not fun. Wild Slash them. Or let's Wizard's Lightning them. How much mana do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5. So if they play a mana, or if they just play a land next turn, they can Gyruda and start beating us down. I guess it is worth it to attack with this Lurrus then, right? Because if they trade, we're fine with that. Because then they're not going to cast Gyruda next turn. And it's not like we were getting value off of Lurrus anyway. We had nothing to bring back, so. Although this deck has like, what, 20-something lands? Like, next turn now if they just draw any land, they can just Gyruda anyway, so. All right, Wild Slash him. Boros Charm is fine. That's what we need to do. We need to draw 3 Boros Charms. We need for them to whiff. Yeah, I play tested this deck a little bit the other day, like off stream, just me and my Clever Impersonator. So they're a turn or 2 behind. It's like the issue with this deck is if you just counterspell the Gyruda, like the game's over. Or again, like if I had Grafdigger's Cage instead of Rest in Peace, this whole game would be over because they really don't have a good way to interact with a Rest in Peace, or sorry, with a Grafdigger's Cage. It's like you just have to have the right interaction. This deck feels very similar to like Storm. Like Storm in Modern feels very, very busted, but like you play a Damping Sphere and the game's over. So Lava Runner's probably one of the worst draws that we could do. We're still gonna play it, but we're gonna pass the turn. They're gonna Gyruda next turn, and we just gotta hope that they whiff. We draw Boros Charm, they whiff again, or they don't kill us, like we survive at 1, and then we get to Boros Charm them again. We have to rip Boros Charms to win. And just unfortunately, we just didn't have the right interaction to win this game. They got the Spark Double, which is the bad one. The bad one for us, sorry. Because now they get to amass this army of Gyrudas, while before they were just like trying to keep the chain going. All right. How many do we mill? We milled one Boros Charm, which is not great. Rest in Peace wouldn't be the worst thing, because then we could make sure, or no, but then they can just copy whatever. It doesn't matter. Pyromancer. It's a blocker. I'll say that. It does block. None of these things have trample. We hit him to 6. Again, though, but it's like we have nothing that can deal 6, so we have to get through 2 more turns, which is very unlikely. Oh, do they just have another Gyruda? Or oh, the Angel. That's rough. All right. Just gonna have to sit here and wait. Yep. The good news is, oh, they got the Dragon Lord. Never mind. There is no good news. Block a 7/7, block a 7/7, lose the game. All right, that's fine though. That happens. We just didn't have the right sideboard hate, and we also, like, both games mulligan very poorly. Like, maybe we should have kept that first hand. Maybe like the risk of not drawing a second land was worth the reward of turn 1 creature, turn 2 2 creatures, turn 3 win the game. Or like, you know, just coming out so fast, because they didn't have it turn 4. That was like turn 5, turn 6. So maybe the upside of like the potential of that hand is what was worth that mediocre 5 that we kept, right? So maybe we were set up to fail from the beginning. Who knows? All right, we are going to play first. We won the die roll. Reveal our Lurrus. We're also up against a Lurrus deck. All right, looks like this is one land the league. Although we get to cast most things in our hand, we have a white source, so if we draw a second land, we can cast anything in our hand. We'll keep it. Especially like if this is like the mirror match, this is awesome. We have 3 pieces of like interaction, 3 ways to remove their creatures. So like that's definitely something that we're fine with. Same thing with Orzhov Auras. If this is the Auras deck, we have 3 spells that we can use to like kill their creatures, which we are totally fine with. Now, if this is like Abzan Rally, probably not the best hand. Guess that's the deal with this deck, right? Is sometimes like these, like the Lurrus decks are operating on very different axes than others. All right, let's play this Lava Runner and pass the turn. Let's hope they just go land, pass. That would be really nice. All right, it's the mirror match. Oh no, okay, this is the heroic one. Eidolon. We're going to attack. Although they could just block. We'll see if they do. Because I really want to cast the Light Up the Stage this turn. So we're going to see if they block. If they don't, this thing is going to get to stick around, and we're going to cast Light Up the Stage. We're going to see. And if they block, we're just going to Wild Slash it and move on with our day. Or maybe we get to kill this favored hoplite anyway if they don't block, because we can let the stage into a land, then wild slash it. All right, excellent. I like to see that. Damage, light up the stage with Spectacle. Let's get a land. That's what I like to see. Inspiring Vantage, and we're just going to wild slash this hoplite. Excellent. That could not have gone any better. And I believe the way it works is it's like flipped over in order. So I believe if they did block, we would have drawn the Wizard's Lightning. And if we did draw that Wizard's Lightning, like if they blocked, and then we had to wild slash, like that would have been not very good. So we definitely Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage is a good card. I see they're trying to keep us off of this Wizard's Lightning. We don't get to cast it now. I mean, or we do cast it and it takes our entire turn, which I'll be honest, I think we're fine with. If we can just keep them off of creatures, we're going to win the game. And like the card advantage is going to be super important, especially because we have 2 things of interaction. Like keeping them off creatures is what we want. Soulscar Mage is a great one. We're going to cast it. They are no doubt holding up some kind of like God's Willing effect to like save their Swift Spear if we go to kill it. So we're just going to pass the turn. Or we're going to... Okay. Oh no, they had F6 through the turn, so we could have killed it if we wanted to. Well, if they go to cast a Reckless Rage or something, then we get to Swift Spirit. We get to Lightning Strike the Swift Spear, which will be nice. If they just pass the turn and they don't give us that opportunity to Lightning Strike it, we're just going to Boros Charm them. Lurrus Burn. Sure. I think we're just going to take 3 here. Again, I'm really worried about a God's Willing. And we have time. We're able to race with them pretty effectively right now. Wizard's Lightning is a great one. So we could really commit to killing this Monastery Swift Spear. Like we could Lightning Strike it, and then when they go cast God's Willing, we can Wizard's Lightning them. Or we could like... I don't know. We have lots of options right now. We could Eidolon plus Wizard's Lightning. That seems pretty good too. Let's do that. Let's cast this Eidolon. And then we'll hold up this Wizard's Lightning. We'll hold it up, because if they play a 4th land, they could go land Lurrus, get back a favorite hoplite. So I think we are going to play it safe here. We're ahead on life. I think there's no reason to rush. We will just have to see. We could use this opportunity to skewer the critics, maybe like the Swift Spear, or even skewer the critics them. But I think we're gonna wait. Play it patient. We have 9 points of damage in our hand that we can deploy over the next two turns even. So maybe if we can get them to tap down to like cast things, then maybe we can like just win the game off of the instants in our hand. So for that reason, we're gonna take this hit. Let's see if, yeah, they're casting something. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Take 2 off of Lurrus, or take 2 off of Eidolon, which we like. And Dreadhorde Arcanist casts the card, right? You may cast it without paying its mana cost. So if they go to cast this Reckless Rage, guess what? They're taking 2. In step, let's go ahead and Wizard's Lightning them. We're going to try to close out the game. Soulscar Mage is a fine draw. We are going to attack in. If they block the Eidolon, we're going to Lightning Strike them. Excellent. We could have, I guess no, but then they would have blocked differently, right? I'm like, we could have Lightning Striked plus Skewer the Critics them. But instead, they would have just blocked the Soulscar Mage, gone down to 1 anyway, so. Although the good news is, so we could skewer them right now, hit them to 1, or we could play our Soulscar Mage. Then we're set to win the game on the next turn if they don't cast anything and just pass. Because I don't think they're going to be winning the game next turn. So we are going to cast the Soulscar Mage. The plan is going to be to just like block, not die, untap, Skewer the Critics for the win. Because chances are they're going to either play something or like attack. And if they do neither, then we're going to win the game anyway. Or I guess if they can find some way to deal 6 damage to us, then we'll be in trouble. But this is looking pretty good. So again, right, like this was the game where we sent a lot of our burn spells at their creatures, right? We made sure that they didn't have favored hoplites in play. We like slowed them down that way. We used Eidolon to like tax their resources, and we were able to, I mean, hopefully, right? It's possible that they win anyway, but like this has allowed us to really like control the pace of the game. We've controlled the board state. We made it where if they were going to play things, it's going to hurt them. So that's like the benefit of, I think, the burn package as opposed to what they're doing, which is like the prowess spells based package, right? Like the whole goal of this is to like get maximum value off of every spell by having it provide evasion or having it like deal extra damage in the form of the 1/1 counters, the prowess triggers, or the recastability with like Dreadhorde Arcanist. So that's what I like about this deck, is that burn gets to play a bit more of that mid-range game that this deck can't. All right, they're going to attack. If they attack with everything, yeah, we're going to block. Oh, they're going to Reckless Rage. Although, guess what, though? They got to take 2 to cast that Reckless Rage. Yeah, we got him. If they'd attacked with the Swift Spear as well, that would have been pretty bad because that's 4 damage. Like, and then if they cast anything else, but oh, they're gonna Reckless Rage the Eidolon. Sure. So looks like we are most likely gonna be picking this game up. We're gonna block. We're not gonna give them the opportunity to like blow us out. What you got for me? It's not enough. All right. So good news. Looks like we're picking up game 1. Got him. Excellent. All right. We got him. We got that game 1. All right. I've played this matchup quite a bit, so I know what we want. 3 Searing Bloods. Searing Blood is a good one to have. We could bring in some Chain to the Rocks, and I think that might be correct. We'll have to see what we're going to take out. What is bad in this matchup? I want to trim the Eidolons. I want to trim them. With this type of matchup, they can, with things like Titan Strength, they can deal much more damage to us than we can to them. So it's possible for them to get ahead if we play an Eidolon. Like if we go turn 2 Eidolon and they go turn 2, deal us 4 or 5 damage, then they're ahead of us on life, and the Eidolon is going to be getting them closer to victory as opposed to us. So I'm going to cut a couple Eidolons. I'm going to cut the Pyromancer. I think like the Pyromancer is not what we want. Like it doesn't attack well. It doesn't block well. We're definitely trying to control our opponent's board. So we have 2 slots open. I don't think there's any life gain in the deck for them. So I think we're going to bring in 2 Chain to the Rocks. There is an argument for Rest in Peace here, but like this is going to turn into a attrition game of us controlling each other's board, them with Reckless Rages or Combat Tricks, and us with our direct damage spells. So I think like us being able to just like kill their Lurrus the turn that they play it is going to be a lot more important than nuking their graveyard. All right, that's a bad spot for us. Can we just get 2 lands in an opening hand, please? Like this hand would be, I'm debating just keep, yeah, well, forget it. Let's keep it. Put a Lava Runner on the bottom. Whatever. We have so many creatures that we can just block for days. I'm about to change the little caption at the bottom. This little caption down here to Lurrus Burn. Can we draw 2 lands? This is what, the 4th game in a row that we haven't been able to keep a hand with 2 lands in it? Nothing. So that means they have removal. In that case, we'll lead with the Lava Runner. If they kill the Lava Runner, we don't mind. It's definitely the worst creature in our hand. Yeah. Cool. So let's see if we can, because they're on 2 lands, which means they're ahead of us. Please, 2 lands. Oh, come on. If I had to yell some hyper aggressive toss of BS in your opponent's face when I win it at Friday Night Magic, I don't know. That's a tough one. I like to be very not that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I like to be sarcastic. That's my form of rub-ins is like the sarcasm. Like I really like that. My favorite salt story of like an opponent getting super duper salty was I was playing a Star City Games IQ invitational qualifier. I was there with good old team Brickhouse, right? Got the Brickhouse logo over here. So one of my friends was playing Mono Black Aggro, and he was up against a Arclight Phoenix opponent. And like, to be fair, he's gonna isolate my Chain to the Rocks. That's brutal. Jeez, we're in trouble. God, man, they are beating up on us this game. Wow. But anyway, so he's playing Mono Black up against Arclight Phoenix, and I like show up around game 3, and like it's like a board stall. Like on the Mono Black side, he has 2 Aether Sphere Harvesters in play, which is just like stonewalling his Arclight Phoenixes so he can't attack in. Okay, we need to think what we're going to do. Unfortunately, now Wizard's Lightning is not enough to kill this Dreadhorde Arcanist. But it is enough to kill this Monastery Swiftspear, which we might just have to do. I think we're just going to get 2 Lava Runner to turn on this Wizard's Lightning, and then just Wizard's Lightning that Swiftspear. Unfortunately, we're on the back burner right now. But anyway, so I keep getting distracted. But anyway, so like he's got him stonewalled with those Aether Sphere Harvesters. They're both like top decking, and they're both top decking like very poorly. this guy was on the Thing to the Ice plan, or Thing in the Ice plan, and not the Young Pyromancer plan. So he's got this Thing in the Ice, and like he goes to flip it, and then he fatal, and the mono black player just fatal pushes it. So like really just like a huge blowout, and the guy gets really salty. He's like most of the time people will be like, oh man, I drew poorly, oh I flooded out, like I was mana screwed, but like this guy was getting like very like confrontational about it. He was like, there is no way that I should be losing to mono black. There is just no way that I should have lost this game. And then he, like, my friend just like looks at him and goes, and yet here we are. And it's really funny. It was just like, ooh, so I like that kind of thing. I like the sarcasm to like be the rub-ins. A third land would be nice. Not the third land that we're wanting. We're going to have to chain to the rocks this Lurrus. But this like Gird for battle, like, and the isolate, like if we do chain to the rocks the Lurrus, he's going to flash back the isolate and just kill our chain to the rocks. So we're definitely in a little bit of trouble here. So we have to chain to the rocks this Dreadhorde Arcanist. And they have one card in hand, so this could turn the corner for us a little bit. We're not going to, let's see, 3, 4, they have one card in hand. We're going to swing in. Because we can't block this Lurrus favorably. I mean, I suppose we could double block it or whatever, but if they have any combat trick in hand, it's going to be a futile effort, so. Let's see if they kill us. Another Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yep. A removal spell for that Arcanist would be pretty good. Land is actually fine, because then we get to 1, 2, 3. We get to get back Lurrus. And, oh no, isolate exiles. Dang. I was like, we can get back that chain to the rocks. We can get back this lava runner, though. And we are just gonna, like, we're gonna swing in. They can't kill anything of ours, and we have to, like, I don't know, like, we're not in a good spot. It's not over. They have no way to kill our Lurrus currently. Light of Hope, destroy target enchantment. So, okay. Yeah, now it's probably over. Because now they get to just block, double block, ping our... Or no, he's just going to go and kill a Swift Spear. Okay. Wow. Yeah, not looking good. We can gain 3 life with the Lurrus, but they just Gird for battle. The guys that we don't block, like, we're in a bad spot. Yeah, okay. I don't think there's a way for us to stay alive this turn. We're at 7, and they're currently attacking 4, 5, 8. But, oh, and they get 2 Dreadhorde Arcanist triggers. So they're going to isolate our Lava Runner, Gird for battle. Yeah, I think that's... And even if we stay alive, we're going to have, what, a Swift Spear and 4 lands and nothing else. Yikes. All right, that's fine. We're going to go to game 3. So again, right, this came from a failure to control the game state. We kept a very creature-heavy hand. They had ways to kind of tempo us out and like control the board. What we gotta do? We'll trade Lurrus, and then they win. Okay. Meow. Hello. Guest appearance from Meatball. All right. How did we feel about this game? Like, I guess Rest in Peace is going to be better for us than I had thought. We'll bring in 2 Rest in Pieces, and we'll take out the rest of the Eidolons. Like, Rest in Peace might just be good enough if we can turn 3. Like, especially if they go Dreadhorde Arcanist on turn 2, then we can slam down Rest in Peace turn 3 maybe, and that can just be enough to shut off that, because I think that's what won them the game, was them flashing stuff back with Dreadhorde Arcanist. So maybe Rest in Peace is worth it, even if it shuts off our recursion. shutting off, they have better recursion than we do because they get to flashback their creatures and their instants and sorceries. Meatball, come here. Hello. Here, come here and say hi. Come here and say hi. Meatball joins the stream. Meatball, what do you think about this matchup? No? Do you think we should be bringing a rest in peace? No? Okay. Let me put you down. Meatball has mixed feelings about rest in peace. Yeah, we've submitted our deck. We're just waiting on them. Although, it's going to depend on what happens in the future. I think that the Burn deck has a little bit more longevity than the Prowess deck. Because that Prowess deck hinges on how good Reckless Rage is. Lantern, hello. Welcome back. How's the league going? We are in Game 3 of Match 3. And we are going, we're going into Game 3. We're up against the Boros Heroic deck. We won Game 1. They picked up Game 2. We're going to Game 3. They just got out of Dreadhorde Arcanists and controlled the board really well in Game 2. They, it was bad. It was pretty bad. But, again, we also, had some bad mulligans based on one land hands. I guess that's what you're doing business, right? You have 19 lands, so maybe there's an argument that we could go up to 20. But that's what I'm saying. All right, our opponent is taking a long time sideboarding. I would like to play first. Let's see if... And us being on the play is going to really help, especially if we can just keep a 2-land hand. If we can get 2 lands, 4 or 5, really good spells, we're going to be golden. Again, what is this? Why can't we get a 2-land hand? I want a 2-land hand that I can keep. This has a lot of interaction, but it really is just going to depend on, do we get to turn on Spectacle for these Skewer the Critics, and or are we going to draw a second land? But this hand is awesome, so I think we're going to see if we can learn our lesson that we learned from the Gyruda matchup of the upside of this hand is really big. We just got to draw 1 land, and the whole game, I think the game is ours, because we're going to go Swift Spear this turn. Then next turn, if we draw that second land, it's going to be Swift Spear plus Skewer, which is going to be massive. Let's see if they don't have a turn 1 play, we're going to be pretty good. Yeah, double Swift Spear is really nice. Although it's going to be one of those things we can't really attack into this favored hoplite. We don't have the ways to interact with it. All right, George Mage, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. All right, I think the plan is going to be just to go to attack and see if we can do like we did in Game 1, where they don't block with this favored hoplite. And if they don't, okay, then we are going to Spectacle out this favored hoplite. We are definitely, we have to control the board. And if we can get a second land, then we're going to play Soulscar Mage, and this Wizard's Lightning is going to be awesome. Yeah, after this game, I'm changing the description to the quest for 2 lands. Yeah, Reckless Rage is a good one. See, it's now we have no chance of we have to draw a land, or else we're just going to have to pass, which is so bad. Come on. Okay. Excellent. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to Soulscar Mage. We're going to Wizard's Lightning. Get that out of here. Pass the turn. Okay. Like, we're feeling fine. Although, again, some white sources, like, beggars can't be choosers, I know, but, like, some white sources for our Lurrus would be nice. Although they didn't play a third land that time, so we're both just sitting on a bunch of spells in hand. Sacred Foundry. I like it. Although I think we need to worry about killing their Dreadhorde Arcanist. We could Swift Spear, attack, bounce off of their Dreadhorde Arcanist, then skewer the Critics it. But we also could just pay 2 life and skewer it the hard way, which I'm fine doing, because then we get to attack for 2 as opposed to getting in for 1. Fortunately, Swift Spear has haste, so next turn we can go Swift Spear Boros Charm. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's just hope they're like running out of creatures. If they just keep throwing down creatures, okay. Oh, we got him. We got him good. I'm excited. Question here is Soulscar Mage versus Swift Spear. Soulscar Mage is fine. Like, the gates are wide open for us to, like, deploy this and not have to face harsh consequences for it. But we could get in some more damage with this Boros Charm, which I think we're going to do. We're going to play Soulscar Mage. We're actually going to wait on this Boros Charm. So, like, the fact that they didn't play anything means that they're trying to draw a third land. And if they don't, then next turn Swift Spear Boros Charm is going to deal significantly more damage. Or there's a chance that we might actually be using the Boros Charms' indestructible mode if they go to, like, board wipe or something. Like, I don't know if this deck is running that type of mass removal, something like an Anger of the Gods. Okay, so yeah, they're just churning through their deck now, trying to get a third land or a creature. Favored Hoplite. Okay. It's fine with me. Lightning Strike. We might just do that instead. Red is not enough for God's Willing, but it is enough for, like, a Titan Strength or something, which just the prowess or the heroic on this alone prevents all damage. So we're going to go to attack, see how they block, and then we might just Lightning Strike their face or Boros Charm them for 4. What do we want to do? If we pass priority and they just say okay, then that's going to feel pretty bad. But if we pass priority and then they go, all right, now I'm going to whatever, it's fine. We'll just Boros Charm them for 4. Let's see what they have. Because they might still pump up their Hoplite just to kill this Soulscar Mage. Yeah, see, okay. They got a good old Reckless Rage, which, huge blowout. Not huge. I mean, like, it hurt the amount of damage we were able to do, because they were able to kill an unblocked one, bounce with the blocked one. Yeah, so that's not great. I would like a white source, because what I would like to do next turn is just Lurrus and then get back a 1-drop. Hello. Welcome to the stream. All right, they're staying on blocking duty. Swift Spear's a good one too. Just, yeah, anything that's going to allow us to really apply pressure is going to be nice. I just need to hope they don't have a bunch more Reckless Rages. Yeah, I'm going to rip that white source real soon. Then we're going to, like, take over the game. If they don't block, it's game over. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can hit them for 7. We're just going at them. Like, right, we're at a very healthy life total, and they only have 1 creature in play that they're leaving to exclusively block. So you know, if they make this favorite hoplite a 7/7, it's not going to matter. We'll win on the turn that they attack, or the turn after that they attack. So we're just worried about reckless rages. That's what we're worried about. Isolate. Well, that's a good one too. And a Titan Strength, so he's going to kill our prowessy Soulscar Mage. But then again, like, think about that. Like, look at this 6/5 favorite hoplite that's dealing 0 damage to us. Like, I'm totally fine with them being in, like, damage control mode. Gird for Battle's a good one. That's really nice. Say hello to your fiance. What are they doing? I think it's pretty safe for them to attack with one creature. Yeah. Little too late, unfortunately. Like, there's really no point in playing this right now because it's going to hurt us more than it's going to hurt them because they have no way of casting Lurrus. If they play a Dreadhorde Arcanist next turn, then we'll play this Rest in Peace. Looks like I got a little overzealous in my... Oh, gotcha. Oh, nice. Very cool. I love me some modern Burn. I'm a big fan. Just big fan of Burn. I'm really like, I love the Pioneer format, and I'm really happy that there's finally like a Burn deck in Pioneer that's like good, competitive, like holds its own. So definitely on that Pioneer grind. I still a big Modern fan. I like Modern to varying degrees sometimes. Sometimes like the meta gets really nasty. So let's see what they do. Can we afford to take 5? Haven't started. Well, like, Burn is just now a deck in Pioneer. Like, literally because of Lurrus of the Dream Den, it's a deck now. Like, it was not a deck a month ago. I think we can afford to take it. Take it this once. I guess we're actually, like, I don't even want a second white source. I just want a Boros Charm. I just want to win the game with a Boros Charm. Is Wild Slash good enough? The problem is if they just... Yeah, they have a 3-card hand. We need to care. But I guess the idea is it's like it doesn't have to happen this turn. With 2 lands, they play Dreadhorde Arcanist, it's summoning sick. They play a 3rd land, cast Lurrus, they're out of mana. So it's like we get at least one more turn before we have to play this Rest in Peace. I guess what I'm worried about is if we just attack in. Because what we could do is we could go Rest in Peace, attack with Swift Spear. If they block with their Swift Spear, we'll Wild Slash it to make our guy big enough to kill him. And if they don't block, we can Wild Slash them and maybe win the game. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait. The chances of us like losing the game because of this attack is, I think, a little too high. So we are just going to... We're going to pass the turn, hope we draw another burn spell. Any burn spell will do it. And actually, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and play this Rest in Peace. We'll be safe. You're right, I might, but... So my thing is, like, they're at 4, right? If we draw Boros Charm, and we, like, as long as we don't lose next turn. Okay, they're going to Fiery Impulse our... Okay, so now we don't get that opportunity. Do we just... I think we just lose the game because they have 8 power in play, and we have no way of killing... Like, this Wild Slash is not enough to kill them. So I guess it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, swinging would have been, like, if we got to. The fact that Fiery Impulse, though, they had that in their hand mints. Even if we just, like, went to combat, they would just kill it. Yeah, it deals 3 damage instead. Wouldn't have been enough to... Alright, they got us, unfortunately. Yeah, they had 2 or more instants and sorceries, so even if we had Wild Slashed in response, it wouldn't have been enough. Dang. That's unfortunate. Again, like, we didn't see too much of our sideboard stuff. Like, we saw that Rest in Peace a little too late. Like, if we had gotten to play that a little bit earlier, that it could have made a big difference. Like, for example, that Fiery Impulse would have only done 2 if we had gotten Rest in Peace a turn or 2 ago. Or just us getting, like, that a Searing Blood at any point in that game could have been huge. But it's okay. Yes, I would like to play first. Finally, a hand with 2 lands that... You went here for the early part of the game. Yeah, so early part of the game, we were stuck on lands a little bit. We were able to control the board. We got really close, but then they just, like, drew a bunch of removal in, like, one turn. They went, like, Isolate, Reckless Rage, Fiery Impulse, and, like, killed a bunch of our things. This hand is... We're on the play, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world just to go land pass, turn 2 Eidolon, especially because we don't see a companion from them. When I don't see a companion, I think combo deck. Yeah, and also beggars can't be choosers, right? We got more than 1 land, so we're going to keep it. It really helps that we're on the play here. Just getting, like, they don't get to pull too far ahead of us, right? We get to deploy that land early, get our 2-drop out before they really get to do stuff, so. Like, that's just the big one, though. No companion and Pioneer, to me, screams some sort of combo deck. Yeah. Okay, so this is the non-Yorion version. This is like old school Dimir Inverter. Which, this hand is not the best for Dimir Inverter. Like, we don't have much of a clock. But Eidolon is going to be great because they're going to be playing... Anything they play is going to be doing damage to them. Like, everything up until Inverter of Truth. Oh, okay, so this is... Oh, no. Okay. Oh, they didn't have 2 lands, and they saw they were up against Bread, and okay. We'll take it. All right, Rest in Peace is going to be good here. The reason why we're going to bring in Rest in Peace is because if we can land the Rest in Peace, it means they have to combo in 1 turn. They don't get to go Inverter of Truth, and then next turn play Thassa's Oracle. They have to they have to do both in 1 turn. So that means that they're not going to be winning the game until turn 5 at the latest. What's bad in this matchup? Eidolon is fine. I like Eidolon and the Pyromancer are the 2 I go to first to look about cutting. But I think both of these are pretty good. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut 1 Light Up the Stage, 1 Skewer the Critics, and I think we'll cut 2 Light Up the Stage. Like, we're just hoping to play a bunch of threats and end the game by turn 4. So, like, yes, Light Up the Stage is going to be good. But you're right. And we're on the draw, right? So we're naturally just going to be drawing into things. So we definitely want to come out to a super aggressive start. Then we should just cut... I don't know, like... I definitely see, like, especially, like, us playing Eidolon turn 2 and then them getting to play a 3rd land. Yeah, especially, like, with this hand, right? Like, we got... Like, that's super punishing. But then again, like, is... Let it... I don't know. I guess Light Up the Stage could be better in that circumstance of it triggers prowess and then gets us maybe more, like, wild slashes and things like that. We're going to mulligan this hand. If we don't draw a 2nd land, we lose the game. On the play, they'll kill it immediately. That is true. They'll, like, hold up removal, and we've paid 2 mana to deal 2 damage. This hand's great. And I think we might actually put a land on the bottom. Like, turn 1, we'll go Soulscar Mage. Turn 2, we'll do Swift Spear plus Wizard's Lightning. We'll keep. And we're going to put this mountain on the bottom. But I also just value having creatures in play that do things. All right. It's really going to depend on... I think like with this type of hand, it's going to depend on how much removal they have in their opening hand. Fatal Push, yep. Okay. Lightning Strike. We'll Swift Spear plus Wild Slash, most likely. Or actually, we're just going to go to attack. Because there's a decent chance they just like have something in hand and maybe we can interact with it. Okay. Then we'll just Wild Slash him anyway. They're getting a curve out pretty nicely, unfortunately. I think we're just going to play this Rest in Peace because they could very easily just go turn 4. The fact that they didn't play in anything at all means that they either have a ton more interaction in hand or they are very close to comboing. Because if they just next turn go land Inverter of Truth, they have a lot of life, and we are behind a lot of cards in hand. I do think I'm still going to play this Rest in Peace, though. Like, again, what else are we going to do? Just Lightning Strike and pass the turn? Which is fine. Although they could just counterspell this. Okay, they're not. Because if we just Lightning Strike and they just go Inverter of Truth, that's like not very good for us. Okay, they don't have 4 lands. I like to see that. All right. We're going to shock in the Sacred Foundry. We could go Lightning Strike plus Skewer the Critics. Or we could, like, they might just have... Although, they would have countered this Rest in Peace, I feel like. If they had a counterspell. Because this forces them to get to 6 mana. Yeah, okay. We're just going to dump out our hand. Yeah, I could also just like tap 3 to play. Because you're right, if we draw some sort of a prowess creature, then we can get more value from our other spells. They're digging. They are digging. All right. Not the best. I think we're just going to Wizard's Lightning them. I'm going to cast the Lurrus as the last, like, if I draw another land or I draw something that costs 1 mana, I think I'm going to play Lurrus then. Because what I don't want to happen is me play Lurrus and they just Fatal Push it. Or cling, some form of removal spell. Okay. Mountain. All right. We're going to cast this Lurrus then. Just get something on the field that we can attack with. So again, they have 6 cards in hand, which is a lot. They're at 5 mana. So they can potentially combo next turn. And do they have a removal spell? Collective Brutality. Yep. Okay. What'd they discard? They discarded a Dig Through Time. Yeah, that's not seeing any play. All right. We complained about our lack of lands, so they gave it all to us this game. Opt. So they're still digging for combo pieces. Yeah, like even when like we have access to our graveyard, like we do not want to be getting to 6 lands. Eidolon is going to be fine. I mean, it's like once again they're at the point where they can just combo next turn. But if they don't and they're trying to play more ops and things, then this Eidolon's going to be fine. Okay, so they can... Okay, they're not going to combo this turn. Lightning Strike. Excellent. They could, like... Part of me wants to, like, start... I mean, we can attack with the Eidolon. It's not going to matter because this Thassa's Oracle. So we're just going to pass the turn. We're close. We can... The fact that Thassa's Oracle costs 2, so even if they go to combo in one turn, they'll be at a proverbial 9. We can hit him to 6 with this Lightning Strike. So we got to have 1 or 2 really good draws, and we can maybe win the game. We have so much mana that I'm fine hanging on to this Lightning Strike. So if we draw a Prowess creature, we can like get some Prowess triggers. There we go. If they could have won that turn, you're right. Like, they have 3 cards in hand, and if they, because like we don't have the we don't have the type of interaction to interact with Thassa's Oracle when it's on the stack. So if they just go Inverter plus Oracle, they just win the game. So they have to have either interaction, or they've played a lot of these like churn through their deck cards. Like they've opted, they've like collected brutality, discarding stuff. So it's like it's possible that I might just be digging. See what they do. And if they counterspell this, I don't think any of their counterspells cost 4 mana or greater, so they're still going to take 2 off of this Eidolon, which we're totally fine with. All right, we're going to swing in. And then we're going to Lightning Strike them. Fatal Push on the Eidolon. Okay. They're at 9. They block. We can't kill the Thassa's Oracle. We're still just gonna hang on to this Lightning Strike. I just want to like make them feel like we have something. Because again, we have so much mana that it's not gonna like we can go to kill them in one turn. So let's have them sweat on it. Let's have them think that we have some kind of interaction. Get to Lava Runner. It's not going to have haste, unfortunately. We do get to cast it, though. No real point in attacking. I mean, I guess I could argue how long do I think it's going to take for us to draw 2 more spells? Because I could just Lightning Strike this Thassa's Oracle, and then we can start attacking with our creatures on the ground. But like, how many turns do we plan on giving them? I guess is the question. Are they just hard casting at Dig Through Time? Wow. Potential for us to lose the game next turn because this Dig Through Time could just hit 2 combo pieces. Let's see. Land. Uh-oh. Yep, here comes an Inverter of Truth. And then they're either going to play a Thassa's Oracle or a Jace. Yep, okay. Yep. All right. They got it. Nothing we can do about that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, that was a good game. We are going to game 3, though. Since I saw the collected brutalities, I think the Skullcrack is going to be worth bringing in. We'll bring in 2 Skullcrack, take out 2 Lightning Strike. Off to play League of Legends. Have fun. I appreciate you checking out the stream. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Skullcracks, take out some Lightning Strikes. They're functionally the same, and we're not really bolting their creatures anyway. I kind of like everything else. Like the Rest in Peace bought us time. Maybe we'll go down to 2 and bring back in a Skullcrack seems very good, yeah. Especially like seeing that they brought in some life gain. We'll bring back in a Skewer the Critics. We'll keep our original 3. I would like to play first. Okay, we're in. Good news is though it's game 3 and we're on the play. If we can, this is such a slow hand. Like this does. Come on, man. Why can't we just have a good hand? Why can't we just get a good hand that has a couple lands, a 1-drop, and some burn spells? This has, like, they could just combo out win turn 4. I do like that this hand has an Eidolon. But if they just have a rest or a Fatal Push or anything, so we're going to mulligan. This hand is even worse, but we're going to keep it because I don't want to go to 5. And we're going to put a mountain on the bottom. No. Pass turn. Although, I mean, I guess, like, good news if there is any. We have the Skullcrack. Eidolon's nice. That was a good draw. I mean, there's a chance they just Fatal Push it immediately, but even if they do, like, that's fine. They take 2 from it. Yeah. I'm anticipating a good 2-drop. Okay, Thassa's Oracle is not a good 2-drop. I mean, it is a good 2-drop on turn 5. I mean, it does block this Monastery Swiftspear, though, from getting to deal damage, so maybe that's what they're thinking is just like, all right, we're going to prevent them from attacking. I want to get this Swiftspear down, or we could just Boros Charm plus Light at the stage. I think that's what I want to do. I want to get something better that we can play. Yes, we're kind of wasting some prowess triggers here, but like next turn's going to be great. Soulscar Mage, Wizard's Lightnings plus like Swiftspear. That's going to be nice. Okay. Getting a land off that Fabled Passage. This is a Collective Brutality. Okay, another Thassa's Oracle. Wow. So something's going on here. That's always like the thing, right? When they play this Thassa's Oracle, it means they have everything, right? Like he just has 3 Thassa's Oracle and an Inverter of Truth in his hand. Or it means that he's got nothing and he's like playing these to dig deeper. Like Thassa Flooded. A mountain is absolutely what we wanted to see. Soulscar Mage. I am debating not playing the Swiftspear and holding up the Skullcrack. Just in case they might have been waiting for us to play a creature and now they're going to Collective Brutality escalating twice. And if they do that, then like we lose the game. Especially because like this Swiftspear isn't going to be getting in any damage, right? It can only attack for 2, and they have a bunch of 1/3s. So we'll go ahead and Wizard's Lightning them. And then we're going to pass the turn. Please don't just slam down an Inverter of Truth. Please don't. Please no. Excellent. Do I want to play the Skullcrack on into turn? I don't think I do. Because like there's a chance if we draw like a Wild Slash, then our guys are going to be big enough to attack through these Thassa's Oracles. What do we have in our graveyard? We have an Eidolon, so next turn we can go Lurrus plus Eidolon. We're going to pass again. We would really like some Lightning Strikes, some Wizard's Lightning, some Skewer the Critics. Just something to really like put their life total very close to 0. Cling to Dust. Oh, dang it, we F6'd. All right, that's a punt. Because they gained 3 life. Oh, no, did they not gain 3 life off of that? If it was exiled target card from a graveyard, you gain. Oh, no, they did gain 3 life. Dang it. Ugh. We even had the Skullcrack in hand. I feel so stupid. It's what we get. It's what we get. Yep. Ooh, Ashiok. Okay, so this is just going to make a billion million blockers. 2 in owner's hand. Okay. So that's no good. So, okay, so they're actually, like, trying to play, like a fair game, because they could just start, like, attacking us for 2 every turn. It's okay. They might have more life gain, right? Yeah, like there's a chance, and especially because they can flash this back. They have the mana too. So maybe we'll just wait for that. Eidolon is a good one. Eidolon's a good one. And I'm not going to cast this Lurrus. And I'm going to click through every phase of the turn so I don't accidentally F6 to the instep and they do something. That is something I really like about Arena, that like even when you like auto pass the turn, if they do something like wonky, like it'll be like, hey, do you want to cast anything? Cry of the Canarium. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards. So that is going to kill our Eidolon for sure. We could save these 2 by casting Skullcrack. Which I think we're going to do. Well, hold on. 1, 2. That's going to put 3 cards in their yard. We'll let it happen. Because, like, we're not attacking with those anyway. And again, let's see if that Cling to Dust win. Like, if that punt is going to win them the game. Like, if they win with 3 or less life, then we'll know that that's why we lost, because we accidentally clicked through it. Wizard's Lightning and a Rest in Peace. We're actually fine with that. I think we're kind of past the point of Rest in Peace being what we want to draw. We would rather draw burn spells. So the Wizard's Lightning getting exiled is a bit of a hurt, though. Skewer is a great one. And we have the mana to cast it. Or how much is... They can cast a card that's been exiled... Okay, yeah, that's not anything good. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to cast 2 Eidolons? Yeah, we're not playing things that's going to make us regret letting that Ashiok ultimate. Does that gain life? No. So again, right, if we had Skullcracked that Cling to Dust, we could have just... That would have been the game. So let's see if we get punished if they just combo us this turn. Opt. Sure. So we could win the game next turn if they just don't... If we draw literally any burn spell. 1, 2... So, and they have combo mana, like, to win in 1 turn. So we'll see. 1, 2, 3... They have 4 cards in their graveyard. So they're close to casting back... Or escaping that Cling to Dust. Collected Brutality. Did they escalate it? They did. They're going to try to gain 2 life. Is this an instant? It is, but 1, 2, 3. So they can cast this back. They can flash this back in response to the Skullcrack. But they're going to take this out of our hand if we don't. So we have to do it now, and then they're going to flash back their Cling to Dust in response. Okay, they're not. Excellent. We like that. So we're at 18. All right, we have a chance. If we can draw a Boros Charm, we're going to win the game. Does Cling to Dust target their own graveyard? Target card from a graveyard. Oh, there's no creatures in the graveyard at all. Doesn't matter. Okay. We have to draw any burn spell. Literally any of them. And we have, 16 in our deck? They exiled Boros Charm, Wild Slash, Pyromancer, Soulscar Mage. One of those was okay for them to exile. The rest of them were not. So again, this is it, right? Like, us not Skullcracking that Cling to Dust is going to matter if we don't win. Excellent. I like seeing that. All right, we got him. No cards in hand. No counter magic. Nothing that gets him out of this. We got him. Whew. That was close, and we almost punted that game, so I'm glad to see that we were able to claw our way back out of it. All right, we are 2-2 going into our 5th game. We got a win against a Dragons deck. We got a win against Inverter. We lost to Gyruda, and we lost to Boros Heroic. I've been seeing a lot of Boros Heroic, like, right? We've played that matchup 5 or 6 times over the last like week or so of us streaming. So maybe we need to tool our sideboard a little bit more for the Boros Prowess matchup. Like that might be something that we need to prepare more for. But yeah, we got back in. We got it. That was really close. Like that was like we were a turn or two away from losing the game. Okay, again, this is a non-Lurrus, non-Yorion deck, which makes me think combo. Makes me think this is just a combo deck. Either Inverter again or Lotus Breach. And if this is Lotus Breach, they're on the play though. I do like this hand. It has 2 lands and a bunch of things that we can play. And especially unknown opponent, we can only make guesses on what they're on. We'll keep it. Even if it's not a combo deck, the fact that it's not playing Lurrus means that it's trying to go big. Okay. Yeah, this is trying to go big. This is a ramp deck. So maybe us just going turn 1 Swift Spear, turn 2 play 2 Swift Spears, like might just be good enough if we draw any burn in the next turn or two to close out the game very fast. Okay, this isn't the Obosh deck because there's no Obosh. Stomp. Okay. Brutal. Play set of Swift Spears. I'll take it. I guess drawing anything here at this point is still pretty good. Like, I'm pretty much fine with if we draw a land, we can go Swift Spear plus 2 drop. If we draw a burn spell, we're going to cast it. Like, I'm feeling pretty good. Boros Charm. The fact that they just passed with all this mana up either means they have nothing to play or they have a bunch of like stomp effects, which we'll just wait. Maybe we'll cast this Boros Charm for its indestructible mode if they go to like wipe the board or something. Ooh, they're going to company. Wow. Okay. What are they going to company into? Oh, really? A Reckless Bushwhacker. Burning Tree Emissary. All right. So let's see how they block. We're just going to Boros Charm, deal 4 damage to them. Get some prowess going on. Yeah, we got them at 9 already. And they got 2 cards in hand. Not bad. Depending on what we draw, I think the plan is going to be to play this Pyromancer next turn. They might just have another company in hand. The fact that they're not attacking with that Llanowar Elves when we're completely tapped out. Now, they could just be saving it to block. That's always an option, but I think it's safe to assume that there's another company in our future because I don't see why if they didn't have that, they wouldn't just cast this Bone Crusher Giant, which let's drag over here so we can see it. We could just do the same thing again, just attack in, and then we have an instant to prowess and maybe remove something if we need to. So I think that'll be the play. And if they don't block, we're just going to hit them for a whole bunch. Yeah, company number 2. Let's hope it's as average as that first one was. Gruul, ooh, Scavenging Ooze. That's a bad one for us to see. We do not want to see a Scavenging Ooze. Let's see if they block with it. I think because we have a Swift Spear in the graveyard, they have a Bushwhacker in the graveyard. We have to get rid of the Scavenging Ooze. Otherwise, it's going to gain them 2 life this turn. No, 3, because then they can just eat this Swift Spear too. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to Lightning Strike this Scavenging Ooze. Otherwise, it's gonna take away. I think it's gonna start to run away with the game. And then also that Scavenging Ooze will just get so big that it's going to be impossible for us to like deal with later. So like that was the best opportunity to deal with it. Going to 5. What do we want to see? I guess a Wizard's Lightning would be nice because we can play a Pyromancer and then just like Wizard's Lightning them on the next turn or something. They have a lot of power on board, but fortunately they don't have. None of these things have. That one has trample. Ooh, a Tarkus command. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's 13. Oh, and that has haste. Wow. They just won out of nowhere. Man. Okay. Wowie zowie. Let's bring in some Searing Bloods. Searing Blood sounds pretty good. I think Eidolons are pretty bad, just from the fact that, like, yes, they're playing some low CMC stuff, but they can, like, as you saw, they hit us for what? 15, 16 in one turn. So I don't want us to die from our own Eidolon. We could bring in some maybe Chain to the Rocks, like catch a Bone Crusher Giant, catch a Scavenging Ooze if it starts to get too big. Skullcrack seems average. I don't know how much life gain they're going to have post-board. Same deal with like Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace will answer that Scavenging Ooze, but we might need to we might need to start Lurrusing. So I think we're gonna run it back like this. I would like to play first. All right. This is a very interactive hand. We can kill anything and everything that they play, and then we're 1 white source away from Lurrus. This is like one of those borderline hands where this could turn out really nicely if we draw something good, but if we don't, like, we could just lose the game. I do want to keep it, especially because they mulliganed. Or no, they did not. Okay. Just on the, like, this is on the premise of just, like, maybe they are keeping something that's going to require mana dorks. Like, they didn't get until 4 mana until the end of that, like, game. Like, they got to 4 right at the end, so. Soulscar Mage, excellent. We will play it. And then we'll hold up some interaction. So if we get to untap with this Soulscar Mage and it doesn't die to anything, that'll be phenomenal, because then we can start turning this removal into damage. Game Trail. This land is so bad. Nothing, huh? Burning Tree Emissary. Okay. Is he going to go Burning Tree, Burning Tree? Puts a land into play and deals 3 damage to each opponent. Okay. Puts that Stomping Ground that we know about. I think I want to... I'm not going to overextend. I want to keep this removal up, and that's a great land to draw. Because, like, you saw how quickly they just, like, killed us in one turn. So I think what I want to do is I just want to, like... I want to play it really safe. Because we have a better late game than they do. Like, if we both get into top deck mode, we're destined to win. So I think the plan is going to be to just, like, we're going to play it cool. We're going to remove their thing, attack for a couple of damage. Remove their thing, attack for a couple damage. So they probably have a Collected Company. So in step, we can freely Boros Charm them. 14. Wizard's Lightning is awesome. Like, we can just deploy our whole hand this turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 damage. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to attack in with the Soulscar Mage. They're going to company before blocks. And then we are going to probably remove everything that they hit off of this collected company. Riot Spellbreaker and a Burning Tree Emissary. Let's see. We're going to let them go to blocks. If they block with the Spellbreaker, we're going to kill it. They're not going to block. What do we want to do? What will we do? We can just deploy our whole hand at any point in time, so we're going to Lightning Strike them. That takes them to 11. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. They'll hit, I mean, it gets them to 2, and then they could just have another one of those hands where they just, like, win the game. So we're just going to let this 2 damage go in, and then we're going to hold up this interaction. So if they try to go Reckless Bushwhacker, we will just kill 2 of their things. Hornet's Nest. I love this card. This card is one of my favorites. Make a bunch of wasps. Yeah, like, let's do it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I have this janky modern deck that's built around like playing Hornet's Nest and then playing like Blasphemous Act to deal 13 damage to each creature, make 13 Hornets. That's really funny. We're not close to dying, so I'm just going to take 4 here. Because let's see, we can just 5 them with all this interaction. And then if we draw Boros Charm at any point in time, we can win the game. I'll Wild Slash them. Oh, they have hexproof during their turn with the Spellbreaker. Oops. Okay. I didn't see that. Lava Runner. We could remove their board. Like if we play Lava Runner attack, they double block, and if they don't double block, they die. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, that's only 7. We are gonna play the Lava Runner. As long as it is your turn, you and the Spellbreaker have hexproof. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't bank on shrinking that during combat, because that would have been very bad. We're going to attack. Although, like, there is a chance that we're walking into something where we let them get 2 Hornets, and then they just, like, play a Bushwhacker, and then that's, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, like, 9. That's, like, 12 damage. No, that's 14. Yeah, so maybe we are just going to attack with the Get To Lava Runner. Maybe we don't attack at all. No, we're going to attack with the Lava Runner. I don't know, man. This is hard. This is a hard decision. Just because they could just blow us out at any given second. They could just blow us out of the game and win. So, we can't win the game if they double block or if they block anything, right? Because at maximum we deal 3, 6, we deal 8 damage at most. That doesn't win the game and puts us open to lose. And we can just win with direct damage. So I think what we're going to do is we could cast Lurrus this turn and just have another blocker, and it's another lifelink blocker. I'm fine with this. And again, like, we have enough mana that we can deploy both of these spells plus another 2-drop. So, like, if we draw Boros Charm, that wins us the game. we draw Lightning Strike. Or, yeah, we draw Lightning Strike. That could also win us the game, depending on what they do here. A game trail. No reveal. If they give us a window to attack in with everything, that could win us the game if we can draw any sort of like haste creature or burn spell. Okay, they're going to combat, which is good. No Reckless Bushwhacker. I don't think there's any way with 2 cards in hand that they can deal 12 damage to us. So we're just going to take it. And if they don't play a creature, then we could win the game. Like, okay, this sets us up to win. We have an ability, although they could just have a company in hand too. Boros Charm. Pyromancer's just as good, I think, because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we just have to attack with anything. We have to connect with some creature to win the game. I think this is our window. We're really close. So if they don't block, if they company, then we're in a bit of a spot. Ooh, they're not. Okay, we got them. Game is ours. If they just don't block, I think I'm just going to go to damage, just in case they have some kind of, like, removal spell. Okay, they're going to double block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, here we go. Wild Slash at them for 2. And Wizard's Lightning at them for 3. Is that enough? Does it win us the game? All right. We got him. Got game 2. So again, like, right, we played super patiently. We, like, controlled the board when it was necessary. We didn't overcommit for the sake of dealing damage with prowess. We played it nice and easy, and we won the game because of it. And even then, right, the Pyromancer proved to be valuable because we were able to deal 2 damage, and that was all that we needed to win. So I like what we did. I think we're going to run it back. Although on the draw, that's going to be significantly harder to do. Come on, man. Give me 2 lands. Why do you got to do this to me? Ugh. Although, oh my god, the fact that we get Searing Blood, I'm going to keep it. We're going to put this Boros. No, Boros. How many times have we been like, Boros Charm wins us the game? We'll put the Pyromancer on the bottom. Stomping Ground tapped is nice. Land. Swift Spear attack for 1. Although, good news, we still get some sort of interaction, right? We have a Wild Slash in hand, so we could, if they go play a 2-drop, we can just kill it, most likely. Game Trail. Ooh, Game Trail tapped. That means they drew that Game Trail. Land. Come on, dude. Like, we could just play the Lava Runner. I want to hold up interaction, though. So we're just going to attack for 1, pass the turn on this Wild Slash. We have lost our opportunity to be aggressive. Although, I don't know. They're giving us a lot of time to, like, just do nothing. So they probably have a company in hand. Land. Okay. I'll pay 2 life. I'll do it this time. That's the thing is, right, if they company next turn, then we're going to wish we held on to the Searing Blood, but we'll just Boros Charm them. while we have the chance. Oh, they're gonna stomp the Swift Spear. Okay. Sure. Which is fine, right? We have the good news is that we can chain to the rocks this Bone Crusher Giant. Burning Tree, okay. Oh my god. Are they about to do the nuts of Burning Tree, Bushwhacker? No, they're just going to play this Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Good news, we're not going to take any damage from this Chain to the Rocks if we scoop up the Bone Crusher Giant, because we're not casting a spell that targets it. It is an ETB, it's a triggered ability. That's excellent. That's actually that's literally what we wanted. Searing Blood on this Burning Tree. Get that off of the field. And then Chain to the Rocks this mountain. Pay a white. Scoop up the Bone Crusher Giant. Pass the turn. So again, really nice. They had a pretty explosive turn, and we were able to just kind of wipe it all away in one go round. Lava Runner into Lava Runner is pretty nice. Yeah, Chain of the Rock's so good. That's small stuff, right? Like the fact that we were able to get them with not take damage from the targeting because it ETBs and then it targets is so good. We have no real reason to Wild Slash right now we could Wild Slash just to kill this Burning Tree Emissary, but they're gonna company. Sure. So we're going to Wild Slash whatever they put in. Wildborn Preserver. Or, you know what? I'm actually fine just trading. If they want to block, that's fine. We have 5 damage in hand. You going to block? Yeah, we're fine with this trade, actually. It doesn't bother me. And then we're just going to pass. We're going to hold up this Wild Slash in case they play a Scavenging Ooze or something. There's really no need to be overtly aggressive. We get to be very reactive right now. Burning Tree. Okay. Gruul Spellbreaker. That's pretty good. So you're going to give it haste? Yeah. We have 5 damage in hand. We could save a damage, get rid of this Burning Tree. Or we could wait. We'll just take 5. We'll see what we draw. Okay, Eidolon is very good, so we are just going to... We're going to Wild Slash... Or no, we'll Wild Slash the Eidolon. And that's their last card in hand? No, we'll Wild Slash this Burning Tree. No. If we draw a land, we could Wild Slash Eidolon, get back Lurrus, which will be really nice. I also, I want to skewer the critics this Gruul Spellbreaker. Yeah, we're gonna avoid more damage. Because we have the mana to cast the Skewer the Critics anyway. That'll be fine for next turn, right? Because then next turn we get to go Lurrus Lava Runner. Here's what we could do. We could attack and see if they will block. And if they do, it's a freebie, right? A free trade. And then we get to skewer the Spellbreaker for no damage. Or we could just skewer it now, pass turn, and then trade whenever they attack. Because they have 0 cards in hand. Or we could just play Lurrus and pass, right? And use Lurrus to trade with the Spellbreaker or just gain 3 life. That's always an option too. I think I want to play as... Well, hold on. We're going to be taking 4 damage, putting us to 3. And then we would go to 3. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that is 5. So either way, we're put in a spot where... Oh, no, because we can... No, we have to tap this for white. Yeah. We're just going to cast this Lurrus and then pass the turn. Because we get to make some favorable trades, hopefully, and then clear out the board, and then in a top deck war, we're going to win it. Maybe. I think that the decision of what we did that turn might determine how this game goes. Like, we'll see if just skewering the Spellbreaker is better. Like, if they just go Atarka's command, deal 3, players can't gain life this turn, then we lose the game. Let's see how they attack. Just those 2. So they're going to try to force us to trade, right? Like, we have to block with the Lurrus, otherwise we're in a bad spot. So I think us just doing this is something that we're fine with. I'm expecting some sort of Atarka's command creatures get +1/+1. So maybe we don't. But then again, they would have just attacked with everything if they had that. Whatever, we're going to call them. We're going to make them have it. Because we're too far behind for them to not have it. Okay. Draw a card. Excellent. We're going to do this in reverse order. We're going to skewer this Eidolon. Tap this for colorless. Get that Eidolon out of here. Soulscar Mage. Pass the turn. Cool. Good news is that Llanowar Elves doesn't really get to attack now, and we're feeling fine. We're feeling fine. Burn spell. Okay. I guess we should have kept that in our hand. There was no reason to play it. We're just gonna pass the turn. Because again, right, they just draw Atarka's command, and if we attack, then we lose, because then they get to hit us for above 4. Burn spell. Wild Slash, excellent. We're gonna just answer this Llanowar Elves, like get it off the battlefield, attack for 2. Because now if they continue to draw lands, we can just start attacking for 1, because there's no way that they have like a bunch of things. Because we're at such a low life total that they're just encouraged just to play whatever they draw. Stomp. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Another Chain to the Rock. Oh, no, we only brought in 1 Chain to the Rocks. So we're going to be taking... We need to draw something good. It's going to be a land. Lightning Strike. Well, I mean, we lose if they just attack us with this Bone Crusher Giant, right? So I guess we have to... We just have to, like, take 2. We gotta suck it up and just kill this Bone Crusher Giant. Although now we're dead to Atarka's command. Like, just full stop dead. A light at the stage would be awesome, yeah. Allow us... Oh, here it comes. Oh, oof. Ooze. That's bad. Oh, my God. I think that's it. Because we only brought in 1 Chain to the Rocks. And yeah, we can't kill this thing now. It's too big. It's way too big. God, that stinks. I guess the only thing that would be nice is if we go light up the stage. Oh, fuck, dude. It's a 6/6. If we get light up the stage into Soulscar Mage plus, like, Wizard's Lightning, then it's like, okay. All right, that's part 1. Tap both of these for colorless. It's possible we could pull back in, maybe. Maybe. Well, Lava Runner blocks. At least it does that. Searing Blood, unfortunately, is not enough. Yep. All right. Yeah, this game's pretty much lost at this point. Unfortunate way to end this league. Maybe we should have been... Oh, Clothis. Oh, come on. All right, we have to block. Just Clothis drains, doesn't it? Otherwise, and it deals 2 damage. Yep, all right. That'll do it. You know what? We're gonna go out on our terms. All right. All right. We went 3-2. Not the best. All right. So going over our matchups, let's see what we could have done better. We made a lot of adjustments with the sideboard. I think maybe like in that last game, we shouldn't have played Lurrus that turn. We should have just lightning struck the Gruul Spellbreaker. We should have just used our removal spell on it because we got 0 value off of Lurrus that time. We played it, we blocked with it immediately, and it died. And then we were stuck in that top deck war, and they top decked Scavenging Ooze, and we didn't have an answer for it, and then they won the game. So maybe we should have just killed the Spellbreaker with the burn spell. Yeah, lands were tough too. We drew a little too many lands. So maybe that's something that we should be more aware of is if we're trying to grind, we need to prioritize Lurrus more than we did that turn or that game. Let's see, changes to the main deck we could have made. I don't know. Like, I really like where this is at. I think maybe we could argue, like, because there were some times where we were drawing creatures and it was like, we don't want creatures right now. We want more burn spells. Like, maybe we go up to a play set of Lightning Strikes, a play set of Skewer the Critics, and maybe we cut some Lava Runners or something. Like, we cut a couple creatures. Because like there was also that game where we had an opening hand of 5 creatures, 2 lands. Like maybe we want slightly less creatures. We have 4, 8, 12, 16. We have 19 creatures in the deck. Maybe we want slightly less creatures, right? In the sideboard, we got punished with the Rest in Peace. We had Rest in Peace against Inverter, right? And it slowed them down, but we still lost that game. And then the game that we won, it wasn't from Rest in Peace. It was from us getting underneath them and just killing them before they were able to combo at all. So maybe we just we need to go back to Grafdigger's Cage because Grafdigger's Cage cost us the Gyruda matchup. It just straight up cost us that game because we didn't have any good sideboard cards for Gyruda. These Searing Bloods are really good. Maybe it's time for us to go up to 4 of them. Like, maybe 3 is not enough. Like, we brought in 3, and we saw one in the late game. Maybe it's time for just 4 Searing Bloods. There was also, unlike in Modern, these Eidolons aren't as... Like, yes, with all the Lurrus decks running around, Eidolon is great, but I haven't seen Eidolon pulling a ton of weight as opposed to, like, in Modern, where you can just, like... Maybe Eidolon's a bit more of a sideboard card. Maybe we put a couple... Yeah, like, Searing Blood is so good even in Modern, right? Like, in Modern Burn, you're playing, like, 8 of those effects because you're doing a play set of Searing Blazes in the main deck, and then you're putting Searing Bloods in the sideboard. So, yeah, like, I think it might just be time for some Searing Bloods, like, 4 of them. I saw one list that top-8'd something or another that was doing 2 Searing Bloods in the main deck and then 2 in the sideboard. And maybe that's what we need to be doing. Maybe we need to be going 2 and 2 just to, like, have that main deck, like, creature interaction that's going to kill them as well. Because that's like the big thing, right? Like, yes, we have the recursion with Lurrus, but maybe we do need to just... I don't know. Part of me also goes, there were definitely some play mistakes that I made that definitely cost us some games. Maybe I could have mulliganed better, or maybe I just need to keep the 1-land hands that have 1-drops in them. Maybe I need to not get too greedy about it. That's probably something to consider. It's been fun figuring out how to play this deck compared to Modern Burn. I feel pretty confident in my Modern Burn abilities, but like here it's like the play style is different. We've talked about that in multiple streams that we're not going to win on turn 4. Like, it requires such a specific hand to win on turn 4 that we are going to be going into the mid to late game. So maybe I just need to figure out my sequencing and what I value more in certain matchups. So that's definitely something to consider for the future. Although I really like this deck. We got some tickets back, so maybe that's what we need to do. We need to re-evaluate some of the fair decks. I think we should have a better game plan for the Boros Prowess deck. We have played that every league since I started streaming. Every Pioneer League, we've played that Boros Heroic deck at least one time. Sometimes 2 or 3 times in a league. So I think we need to have a much better plan for it. Right now the matchup feels pretty 50-50. Pretty play draw dependent. So we should probably have a better game plan for that. And then let's see. What are some other card choices that we could be looking at? I know Ash Zealot sees some play in the sideboard, or for some even in the main deck, but I don't see a game where Ash Zealot would have done a ton for us. What cards were cast out of the graveyard from our opponent? Not a lot. So I still feel confident in my decision not to run Ash Zealot, but what we'll do is I think we'll reevaluate the matchups. We'll reevaluate what sideboard cards we're bringing in. Like maybe in that last game, instead of 1 Chain to the Rocks, I should have just shoved 4 in the main deck. I should have just went. Take those 4 out, put the 4 cards in, and that way we have answers to the Bone Crusher Giants, or even Klothys, right? If they can get Klothys online. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe I need to reevaluate my sideboarding decisions. So, yeah. Otherwise, pretty successful league. We didn't just get crushed too often. We got 0-2'd by Gyruda, but besides that, we went 1-2 or 2-1. So, feeling pretty good about that. So yeah, I think we're going to play this deck, probably play this one again Friday. Take it through another league, see how that goes. And then we'll go from there. So I want to get some more trophies with this one. I think we can do it. We just need to tweak. We're so close. We're so close to being able to just run over the metagame. The metagame's adjusted to us a little bit, which hasn't been the best for us, but I think we can get there. So, but all right. With that being said, my name's Cody. I hope you had some fun. Good, Lantern. I'm glad that you had fun. I sure had fun. So yeah, and we're gonna keep learning, and we're gonna take over the metagame with Lurrus Burn. All right. Well, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Also, by the way, I am super proud of this new stream ending, stream beginning frame. I redid them on Monday, and I feel super proud of it.